Gary, looks like Ben is getting started on the C10. What do we got here and what are we going to do today?
This is Boyd Manufacturing's bolt-in fuel cell for the C10. Nice replacement for the in-cab unit.
Around here, I'm used to recording fuel safe cells because we do a lot of race cars. This is obviously from someone else. So can we get some details on this? The first thing I see is the welding's done really nicely.
Yeah, this is actually a company we've never worked with before. Boyd Welding, it came recommended after doing a little bit of research and asking a few people. And it certainly delivers. It was built per order, as you can see by the tag, which is kind of a cool deal. You know, you're not just getting something off the shelf. I mean, look at the thing. There's no scratches on it. It's in great shape. So just initial impressions of this thing is it delivers on what they say. We were able to outfit it the way we wanted. So we got an Aeromotive 340 pump inside here. It's set up for dash 6 and dash 8 on feed return. We got a rollover valve on it, and then a sending unit, which you can spec out to whatever you want. And then they got a couple options on the actual filler point. We went with the center point so that we can kind of cut into the corrugation of the truck. We'll actually weld and build in a little flush mount sheet metal piece to bring it up to kind of flush their filler cap into the corrugated bed floor. I'm impressed with what we see here. It's a good looking piece.
It really is. So what are first steps for Ben? I know he was talking about taking the exhaust off and then he's gonna have to start cutting into it.
Yeah, the exhaust, the way it runs is going to interfere with the cell, so we'll at least take the tailpipes off. We might have to remake them. We might be able to get away with just modifying them. But we'll begin there. We'll get this thing actually up in the truck and get it mounted. And then we'll kind of make plans for cutting, and then the old fuel system will go away.
Gary just went out in the C10 this morning to double check for any fuel leaks or anything like that. So he's gonna be rolling back around, getting up on the lift. Then I can show you guys the final install of that fuel tank. It looks really good underneath. Then I'm hoping we go for a ride afterwards. Gary, I think we're all curious how your test drive went.
Good. Truck,
no leaks?
Truck feels good, no leaks. It actually bolted in really nicely, so kudos to Boyd for that. We did something kind of cool, as you saw, with the filler. So that was obviously a little above and beyond, but no, for the most part, the thing pretty much went in the way it was supposed to. We'll be doing some suspension stuff with it this winter, potentially some chassis stuff. As you'll see, this thing's got plenty of motor in it, so she's gonna need it.
Speaking of, I think we should get it down now, pop the hood, see what's under there, because I haven't had a chance to look, and then maybe we take it out for one last drive before the customer picks it up.
Absolutely.
What do we got under here?
You know, typical little LS swap. Got some goodies on it. It's got some snort to it. I don't know the exact specs on the motor, but it feels good with that T56 behind it.
And it looks like it has no problem breaking traction in the couple times you've taken it out.
Nope. I mean, trucks are pretty light in the back, so just do a quick leak check there, make sure our fittings are dry. They are. So I think we're good to go spin this thing.
Close her up. Let's take her out for one last drive.
Nothing feels quite like a bench seat Chevy, you know? Just the positioning and not exactly hot rod.
No, it feels like we're sitting on a plush couch in here. It's like a waiting room in the 70s. What is the appeal of a C10? First of all, what generation is it? What years do they make these?
So the C10, this is the 70. This would, and they made the Apaches in the 60s. They were 3100s in the 50s, and then they were Apaches in the 60s. And then into the late 60s, you started to see the C10 name come out, which just means the C means 2-wheel drive and the 10 means half ton. K20 is a 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive. C10 is just kind of the hot one. Everybody likes the hot rod. Trucks are trucks. You can do a ton with them. You can lift them, you can lower them, you can put them on air. They got room for big motors. They got room for big turbos. You know, the back's got room for big tires. So, you know, it's kind of like the Lego set. You can sort of do whatever you want with the thing. You know what I mean?
Right, and they're also appealing to couples. I just thought about this. Because there's a bench seat, and we're not going to be putting this into practice.
You want to slide on over here,
I do want
honey?
to slide on over.
See?
But yeah, it's just like a good cruiser vehicle. You could put, you know, your family, your kids, wife, whatever in here and just go enjoy a little cruise day. Even go down and use that at like the hardware store because you have a bed.
And that's the thing, most hot rods and sports cars, you know, you don't have anywhere to put anything.
I think that's going to be a wrap on this truck. It is getting dropped off later today. It was awesome having it in here. These C10s are always gorgeous, especially if they're done really well like this one. I'm hoping you guys enjoy the content. If you did, this truck is coming back eventually, so you'll see more of it. Please subscribe to our page, like the video. We'll see you in the next one.